Hi, I'm Josh, and this is Cars and Joshy. Welcome to Cars and Joshy. As you can see, I got the El Camino back in the garage, and I'm going to go through and show you what I had done at the fab shop. We don't have to go very far to see the first thing that I had done. It's just a simple harness bar, and it's all bolt in, not welded in, so I can take it out and have it powder coated. So let's get a closer look at it. You can see it bolts in from underneath, and nuts are welded on this side. And there's a riv nut right here, and that's what bolts down into that piece. I had this harness bar made with the loops here, so I can put, either a 4-point or a 5-point harness in here for autocross and stuff. So that's the first thing. You can see right here what the harness bar looks like from underneath. It's got a sandwich plate here in between the body and the bolts here, and they're just bolted in like how I showed you from the top. So we'll go ahead and unbolt this and work on taking that harness bar out, because I'm gonna need to take it somewhere to get powder coated anyways. So we'll go ahead and remove that. Alright, while I'm down here, I'll show you the other thing that I had done, and that's a custom drive shaft loop. So with the 4L80, it kind of puts the yoke right at where the factory drive shaft went. The loop, it wasn't really a loop, at least not on mine. It was just kind of a flat bar that went across, and so I didn't really want to put that back on, and because it wouldn't really help much if something happened with the drive shaft, like if the drive shaft split or something, it wouldn't help that much being right there at the yoke or the transmission slip joint. So I had him create something right here, and it kind of goes up in there, and let me see if I can get a better grip. I don't have this on jack stands or anything right now, but you can see it goes up in there, it goes up and over, and comes back down on the other side there. So right there. But that's the other thing that I had done, is drive shaft loop. And as I zoom out, you can see the welds on the exhaust look much better. So I had them touch up the exhaust and kind of fix my welds that didn't look all that great. And I'll go around back and show you what I had them do with the tailpipes. So when I did the exhaust myself, I had the tailpipes coming out here to a little beveled cut right here behind the tire, but I like what he did. He dumped it right behind the axle and put a little bend on it right there. And not only that, but he put a flange right before the muffler, so if I wanted to, I can just take that axle back piece off on both sides. So that makes it really useful, really serviceable. So I love that. Moving on. So I'm getting ready to take this harness bar out, and as you can see, there's only 6 bolts in there, and I mean, it's ready to come out. So the cool thing about that is, I only really need it in there if I'm gonna go autocross or something. So I can either leave it out or I can leave it in, depending on if I want access to back here, because these are removable panels here. But I don't know, I haven't tried to take these panels off with the harness bar in there, but I can definitely take them off with it out of here. And it's only 6 bolts and it comes out pretty easy. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out here. All right, let's pull off this panel and see what's behind there. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's see what we're working with back here. Still got some metal shavings and stuff back here I need to vacuum out, but what you're looking at is basically a block off plate that ties directly into the factory seal plate mounts going across here, going across the back, and what this is essentially doing is blocking off the Smuggler's box from the cab, and I'll show you why here in a minute. And I'll show you what this thing does as well. But the fabricator originally had rivets in here, and you can see he drilled those out and he put riv nuts in there, so if I need to, this piece is actually removable. And there's a little bit of gap down here, but that's okay. I've got some SX carpet, like the really thick plush carpet with the bonded backing on it. So it's going to be pretty thick, so I think it's gonna fill that space up just fine. I do got a little bit of cubby space on the sides, but honestly I don't know that I'm ever gonna need to use that space because I still have the rear floor pans that I can use behind the seats. But yeah, let me show you what that thing is for. Alright, so I've never personally seen this on a G-body El Camino. I've looked a lot and I haven't found anything or seen anyone that's ever done this yet. So I'm hoping I'm a first, but I got this here. Let's see what we're talking about. So yep, I went ahead and did the A-body or the big body El Camino Smuggler's hatch in the bed, and there's tons of room back here. Let me hop up here. I went ahead and did a memoriam here. This was my grandpa's El Camino, so I did a memoriam of him right there. I like that idea better than like a vinyl in the window or something. This is actually, now it's built into the structure of the truck. But back here I've got a 7.5 gallon ice tank, so I'm going to be running a killer chiller system, so that's 7.5 gallons of supercharger coolant in here. I've seen those chiller systems get down to 0 degrees. I've seen them get negative degrees, so it's going to keep that supercharger running super cold. This battery box was made by the fabricator here. He threw this in there for free for me. TAF, that's Texas Auto Fab. And there's slots down here for the battery cables and stuff. But with the style terminals that I have on there, I have to change those out if I want to use this battery box. But that battery box is mounted in there, so it's not going to go anywhere. I just need to get the strap that goes across the top of the battery to bolt it down. But I'm probably going to have my coolant lines come up through the floor here and run over to a pump that's going to be on a bracket somewhere around here, and then from the pump to the ice tank, and then ice tank's going to have that drain that's going to go straight to outside. I had to face it this way because if I had the drain and stuff facing this way, it would drip right onto the mufflers. So did it to the outside and probably just drill a hole and have it drain straight to the ground down there. But that's mounted on a bracket, so there's a mounting bracket up underneath that ice tank, so it's stationary. The only thing that I've got left to figure out is how to like weatherize it, how to clean it up. You know, I have a couple ideas. There's a pretty good gap in there when it's closed. I'll go ahead and close it. So if I hit the button a second time, it'll stop in the middle of its travel wherever I want it to. So, and then I can go back up with it if I want. It's a little bit loud, even with the rubber boot around the ram there, but I noticed it sounds a lot worse in a video than it does in person. But it is a little bit slow. I might switch that ram out for something that's faster. But I mean, I still got room back here if I want to put something else back here. But the battery and the ice tank is really what I was wanting to look for. There's no way I would fit a 7.5 gallon tank in the engine bay with what I have in there right now, especially when I'm going with a vintage air system. So my air box will be sticking out a little bit further than what it is. Nowhere near factory, but just a little bit further than what it is, than what the block off plate. You know, block off plate is flat, but the vintage air kit will be sticking out just a little bit. But yeah, 7.5 gallon tank's not gonna fit where the battery tray is. And so now I have room up there to route my cold air or my intake right behind the headlights, and maybe try and fab up something that will direct air right into the intake. And that side over there will be open. If I need something else up front, I'll have some space up there. I wish I would have thought of this before I had the Raptor liner and the lizard skin and all that stuff sprayed on the inside, but I'm glad I thought about it before I finished up everything. So those are the things that I had done when it was in the fab shop, and this was the big piece right here, making sure I got this. Like I said, there's a pretty significant gap in the back here that I'm gonna have to figure out how to weatherize this. Yeah, I'll make sure I get a video of, you know, my idea to weatherize everything over here. I'm gonna have to take it somewhere to get it resprayed. That's all right. The inside didn't get as much stripped off as, you know, I had thought. So I'm not even gonna worry about that. I'm just gonna lay the carpet over it. It's gonna be fine. All in all, it was the drive shaft loop, the exhaust, the mounts for the battery, the ice box, and the roll bar, the harness bar actually, and then the block off plate back here. And all of this, you know, it kind of fits together pretty nice and blocks it all off, and it looks straight and flush. But really, when I put this trim piece up here, I can probably just set that carpet over there, or I can probably get one of those big block off panels that they come, the big plastic ones. So yeah, these could be optional. So I'm thinking I'm gonna start running my my hoses from the lid up to the front for the heat exchanger, and then maybe inside the frame or something, all the way back to where I was talking about, up where the battery is, come up through there, go over to the ice tank, and then come back. So I'll probably start working on that. But that's gonna be it for this video. Thanks for watching Cars and Joshy. Josh out.